أشد على أياديكم وأبوس الأرض تحت نعالكم وأقول أفديكم أناديكم. أشد على أياديكم وأبوس الأرض تحت نعالكم وأقول أفديكم.
وأهديكم ضياع عيني ودفء القلب أعطيكم.
وأهديكم ضياع عيني ودفء القلب أعطيكم.
فمأساتي التي أحيا نصيبي من مآسيكم.
وأهديكم ضياع عيني ودفء القلب أعطيكم.
فمأساتي التي أحيا نصيبي من مآسيكم.
أناديكم أشد على أياديكم وأبوس الأرض تحت نعالكم وأقول أفديكم. أناديكم أشد على أياديكم.
Yes, absolutely.
Spoken openly against the genocide being committed against the people of Gaza. Dáil Éireann petition committee supporting national candidates has spoken openly in support of the people of Palestine and has spoken openly in support of the people of Gaza. On June the 7th,
You don't even like what? Rain? What's he saying? There's no rain. I'll take that away. Sorry, this is I'll take this off the ground there.
I texted him this morning. I was like, in over the microphone later. I was like, how to go for it. I know how to go for it. It's busy. It's like, yeah.
evict all of those councillors who do not stand with Palestinians. You better find out who your councillor is. You better find out where your polling station is and go and evict. Don't mind the Zionist ambassador who's grabbing her heels going out, out, out. But all of those councillors are also leaving because we are going to get out and mobilise and vote for people who will do what the people want them to do. So first of our speaker today is Zoe Lawler, IPSC chairperson, Limerick native. Zoe has been campaigning for Palestinian rights as part of the IPSC for over 2 decades. She's the co-founder of Gaza Action Ireland, and in 2011 she spent a week in an Israeli prison after being kidnapped in international waters on the Irish ship of Gaza.
Hello everyone. Well, we are still here and you are still here. We will never stop coming out for Palestine until total freedom, justice and equality for the Palestinian people. We affirm again today our unbreakable solidarity with the Palestinian people. Wednesday was Nakba Day, when we commemorated when over 750,000 Palestinians were ethnically cleansed from their homes for the creation of the apartheid state of Israel. But the Nakba never ended. It is ongoing and is now escalated to disastrous levels in Gaza, where everyone has been displaced, most of them multiple times. And remember, the population of Gaza are mostly refugees already. And the ethnic cleansing goes on in the West Bank too. What Israel is doing to people in Gaza is more horrendous by the day. The numbers, the statistics, the volumes of crimes. It is impossible to process one atrocity that should be mourned for years before the next one is perpetrated. And that is the plan, to keep people reeling, to keep ramping up the war crimes, so that nothing can be investigated or processed until the next one. And if it is difficult for us watching, yes, in grief, but in safety, it is unimaginable for the people living in it and trying to survive it. And that is what Israel wants, to make bombing hospitals, refugee camps, the discovery of mass graves, the murder of record numbers of medics, aid workers, journalists, students, children, routine, to make the world immune to it. But we will never become immune to these crimes. As best as we can, we must mark it all. We must rage against every crime. We must mourn all the losses. It is our duty as human beings. Name the lost people, name libraries and parks for them, paint murals and write poems for them, write their names in candles, sing their names. Mourn for everyone, the more than 35,000 people dead, the 15,000 children murdered, one child every 10 minutes, the 10,000 people missing under the rubble, the 80,000 people injured, the 19,000 children who've been orphaned, the more than 1,000 children who have become amputees. This is the biggest cohort of pediatric amputees in history. From day one, this has been a mass disabling event. Apartheid Israel's genocide takes many forms, and starvation doesn't just mean dying of hunger. It decimates people's systems. People with injuries they would normally survive are dying due to malnutrition and the catastrophic situation in their health system. Infectious diseases are rampant because there is no sanitation, and Israel is pushing people into even worse dire conditions now by ethnically cleansing Rafah. No medical aid has been allowed into Gaza for 10 days. These are criminal, deliberate, genocidal actions. The attacks on the healthcare system are beyond all comprehension. Mass graves uncovered at Shifa and Nasser hospitals with hundreds of bodies. Many of the people in scrubs or in casts with cannulas, their hands tied behind them, executed and tortured. Doctors, nurses, patients, people seeking shelter, executed in a hospital, many buried alive. And it is deeply shameful that there is barely a ripple in our media and mainstream discourse about this. Thousands of Palestinians are detained from Gaza and the West Bank, abducted and taken to Israeli camps and dungeons, blindfolded, handcuffed, not allowed to speak, beaten, starved, tortured, often murdered, limbs amputated from endless too-tight handcuffing. Among them are doctors from Shifa Hospital and many ordinary Palestinians. There were more than 800 settler attacks against Palestinians in the occupied West Bank since October the 7th, and hundreds of people have been killed there, including more than 120 children, and last night Jenin was bombed. Since early October, scholars and experts warned that this is genocide. Israeli politicians, their military, they said it repeatedly. They called the Palestinians human animals. They said they would kill everyone in Gaza. They told us their intent, and we believed them, but our government either didn't or didn't care. The US, the EU, Biden, Schultz, Macron, Sunak, von der Leyen, all of them are complicit in this genocide by funding and arming it, and by telling Israel from the very beginning they could do what they want. There were alternative events around the country, and the arts community turned out. And for weeks, Israel's systems of genocide and apartheid were a huge part of the mainstream political. Shamefully, yesterday, the deeply corrupt FIFA deferred a motion by the Palestinian Football Association to suspend genocidal Israel. We want apartheid Israel out of FIFA. Freedom struggle. Well done, Bulls. And salute to the students in Ireland joining the global campus uprising for Palestine. Salute to the students in Trinity who did the first encampment and won. Bravo to them and the staff who supported them. Salute to the students at Queen's University, Belfast. The students at UCC, the students at UCD. Our full solidarity with them and their encampments. They are showing the way, and students are getting organised up and down the country in other colleges too. Up the students! And the violent police, state and university reaction in the US and in Europe shows us that empire and power would stop at nothing to defend genocide, and what is happening to Palestine could happen to us all. And the biggest salute of all, as always, is to the Palestinian people. The everyday heroes of Gaza who risk their lives to document what is being done to them and to show us what humanity means. The people making bread to share with their neighbours, the journalists, the mums and dads, the kids, the teachers holding classes in tents, my friend Rad, an artist teaching displaced children to paint their tents to make them beautiful. Every single person trying to survive this genocide and grief and trauma. They are heroes. And Palestine is the hope of the world. We keep boycotting apartheid Israel all day, every day. all complicit companies. Boycott all Israeli goods. We will keep marching and speaking out and showing our solidarity with Palestine. We demand justice. And we will not go away. This movement is only growing. Never forget that we are the majority. We are part of a global mass movement of love, solidarity and liberation. We are the many.
Thank you very much. I just want to thank people for their donations so far and for your support for our campaign, because we will be continuing our campaign, and people are holding up QR cards there in the crowd, and if you'd like to make a donation, fantastic.
And cancel the encampment outside Dunnes Stores. Turns out those trees were from Spain, not from Israel, so sorry to panic everyone. You know, sometimes you get in the heat of the moment and you're ready to take on Dunnes Stores. Okay, our next speaker, a very special speaker, Zach Hania, is a Palestinian Irish citizen from Gaza. He was trapped in Gaza for 7 months, only being allowed to be reunited with his family here in Ireland 2 weeks ago, following a public campaign by his family, his wife Batul and his friends. We are honoured to welcome Zach, a survivor of this genocidal assault, to the stage today. Please everyone give him a big, big welcome.
I've been to different occasions before today, and I feel that I cannot thank you enough. And every time, wherever I go, I have to thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. You are amazing. I think you chose to be a true human, and you are true to your Irishness and your humanity, and you choose the right cause, and you choose to stand with justice, and to stand with the oppressed people. You are more than amazing. You are great. I am proud to be an Irish Palestinian, and I am proud to have all of you and to see all of you. It's part of my healing. I have an amazing friends. I am so lucky to have them, that they stood with me in my difficult times and in the hardship I faced. Thank you so much. Thank you. I don't want to be too long. I'll just highlight few points. I'm not going to talk about the details and the difficulty and the pain we have faced, because I get emotional and I start crying, and I don't want you to start crying as well. So I just want to say that we inherited a dream from our parents, and we try and we are trying for all our life to fulfill our dreams and our parents' dream. Do you think, I say to the Israelis and to the whole world, do you think I or any Palestinian can betray their mothers and fathers? No. No. We will not rest. My parents are dead, but I will work to fulfill their dreams. Their dreams is to have a free Palestine. And their dreams, for all their life, was to go back to their own village that they were expelled from by the Zionist gangs. It was not Israel, it was gangs, Israeli gangs, Zionist gangs. And they were teenagers when they were kicked out of their village and from Palestine. And we will work for the rest of our life. If we cannot achieve their dream, I say to my kids, I will hand this dream for you to keep in your life and to work to achieve your grandparents' dream and your father and mother dreams. And I say to the Zionist gangs, the criminals, you came to the wrong place. And until now, you have all the intelligence and you are occupying us and you know everyone in Gaza and Palestine. But unfortunately, you don't know us. For the last 7 months, in spite of all the pain, and the wound is in our heart is so deep. We lost so many people of our families, friends, relatives. We had to carry babies shattered into pieces. My sister died in the north and we couldn't see her. She died of hunger. We lost so many of our cousins, our families, and our extended families. But we will not. You break, I say to the Israelis, you break our houses, you destroyed Gaza, but you will not break our will. You succeeded, you are so brave. You succeeded in killing 13,000 children. And you killed more than, by now, 35,000 plus, and 10,000 people still under the rubble. My wife, niece, is still for the last 6 months under the rubble in northern Gaza, with her husband, parents-in-law, kids, and her extended family still under the rubble for the last 6 months. You succeeded in killing all these people, but you will not kill the fire in our heart to liberate Palestine and to free Palestine.
Now, what Zoe said is so important, and while we are here calling for BDS, our government is laughing at us, and there is a famine commemoration in Longford happening, and the Zionist ambassador has been invited to attend that. And it looks also like John stores are going for round 2 because there are olive trees for sale in John stores from Israel. And if we had the occupied territories bill, those trees would not be there, but they dare sell those trees in Ireland. We will show them. Dunn Stores boycott round 2, let me say. Refugees and internally displaced persons. Please give her a big round of applause.
Beautiful. Just beautiful and breathtaking. This vision before me. In 1948, the Zionist militias, which later became the Israeli forces, forcibly displaced over 750,000 Palestinians, destroyed over 530 Palestinian cities, towns, and villages, committed dozens of massacres, and took control. They stole 78% of mandatory Palestine. The ethnic cleansing of Palestine during the Nakba paved the way for the creation of a colonial apartheid regime that is called Israel. Since 1948, Israel has crafted its system of domination over the Palestinian people, using forced displacement and transfer, colonization and apartheid, war crimes and crimes against humanity to control the maximum amount of land in Palestine with the minimum number of Palestinians. For over 76 years, Israel, with the support of its colonial allies, have systematically and aggressively denied the Palestinian people their rights to self-determination and return. That is why today, 66% of the Palestinian people, 9.17 million Palestinians, are refugees and internally displaced persons. Western colonial states, the US, the UK, the EU, France, Germany, and Australia have not only enabled Israel to commit these crimes, but over 76 years of impunity bestowed upon Israel have led us to the genocide that is happening in Gaza today. For over 7 months, Israel has been targeting Gaza with the intention to physically destroy the Palestinian population there and create conditions of life that will lead to a slow death. In other words, committing genocide. At the same time, Israel has severely restricted the provision of humanitarian aid, has demonized, attacked, and obstructed the life-saving and crucial work of UNRWA, and Palestinians in the rest of Palestine are experiencing an escalation of Israeli suppression manifested in killings, mass arbitrary arrests, and political prisoners are tortured, humiliated, killed, forcibly disappeared, and the destruction and depopulation of whole villages, land confiscation, and Israeli-backed colonizer attacks. States, all states, including the government of Ireland, have an absolute obligation to implement sanctions against Israel to prevent and stop the genocide, to enforce a ceasefire, because Israel, a colonial apartheid regime, will not stop its genocide, its displacement and transfer, its suppression, colonization, and apartheid without being able to stop through sanctions. The Irish people, you beautiful people, have been in solidarity with Palestine since before the genocide, since the Nakba and before the Nakba. You have been steadfast in your support for Palestine, standing for human rights, dignity, and justice. But states, including the Irish government, after 7 months of genocide and 7 months of solidarity protests, have ignored the will of the people and have not implemented sanctions against Israel. An empty recognition and symbolic actions and worthless commitments that provide Israel the time and the space to further its genocide and the ongoing Nakba of the Palestinian people. There is no business as usual during the ongoing Nakba and the genocide. There is no maintaining and enabling forced displacement and transfer, colonization, and apartheid as the status quo. The time for dialogue with Israel and its colonial allies is over. The time for excuses and symbolic gestures is over. The time to let Israel's colonial allies, the US, the UK, EU, France, and Germany, to dictate the actions of allies of Palestine, to dictate the actions of Ireland, is over. To end complicity with Israeli genocide, to end the ongoing genocide and the ongoing Nakba, not only must states impose arms embargoes, fund and enable UNRWA, lift the blockade of Gaza, but they must also implement military, economic, and diplomatic sanctions.
We would like to say a welcome to Asil, who just left home from Gaza and who is here today. Please say a welcome to Asil. Next up we have a performance from all the way from Cork. Yes, Cork, up Cork. Lean and Latif, who you might be familiar with. Our Cork-based musical duo, Lean is a Palestinian activist, singer, artist and poet whose themes revolve around social justice, identity and belonging, and for whom singing and storytelling are an inherent part of her Palestinianness. Latif is a Moroccan guitarist and member of the Cork Palestine Solidarity Campaign and a BDS activist. Welcome to the stage.
Take a moment to applaud the global student intifada. Big applause. A mass youth movement is at the forefront of the struggle, and there's not need to replicate only the incumbents in the US. This needs to escalate, and this needs to transition into political action. So we need to dismantle the apartheid state, and speaking of dismantling the apartheid state, we decided to sing a song today called Hulm, which is a dream, and it's about breaking down the walls of tyranny. It goes like this.
لو
Sunday at 2 p.m. and they're calling on people to partake in the Women's Mini Marathon, run and raise funds on the 2nd of June, Bank Holiday Sunday. So if you are eager to run to raise funds for Palestine, please get in touch to take part. Our next speaker is Wala Jawi. Wala is a Palestinian refugee from the diaspora whose family is originally from Safad. On the mic.
So I'm not going to take too much of your time today, but I wanted to make it a bit of a personal speech commemorating the 76 years of Nakba. So this past week I was telling my sister that I was imagining what life would have been if there was no occupation, what life would have been like for me. And I think I definitely would be more Palestinian. I would know the olive trees, the beautiful Gaza beach, the Aqsa Mosque, the smell of the summer in Haifa. My family and I would harvest the olives. I would tell people I'm from Safad, the north of Palestine, and I would be able to tell them what Safad actually looks like. I would have had a homeland, and when I tell people I'm going home for summer, it would mean Palestine, not Lebanon, not Syria, not Libya, but Palestine. My dad, who's my entire life, I bring him up in all my speeches. My dad would have known a home. He wouldn't have grown up all his life in different places. My family wouldn't have been torn apart, scattered all over. I would be living with my parents and my siblings in our family home in Palestine. If there was no occupation, I imagine I would be whole. I'm so grateful to be Palestinian. It's truly the biggest honor of my life, my biggest flex. My bragging card. When I tell people I'm Palestinian, I am filled with so much pride. So on to some good news. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this, but last week, after 12 years in Ireland, I received approval from my application to become an Irish citizen. I'm not going to take too much of your time, but I want to close off by saying that my dream was always to see a free Palestine within my lifetime. I never ever thought that was a possible dream, and today I'm standing here and I truly, truly believe that can happen. And I'll tell you why. I want to give some thanks. I believe that can happen thanks to all the students. Let's give them a round of applause. I believe that can happen thanks to the Palestinian resistance in all its shapes. I believe that can happen thanks to all of you resisting the occupation by being here today, 7 and 8 months and 76 years later. And I believe that can happen thanks to the Palestinians who still refuse to leave Gaza, Ramallah, occupied Jerusalem and all the occupied territories. I believe that can happen thanks to the diaspora, who have never known Palestine, but hold it so close to their hearts, who work towards a return, who never acknowledge any other home aside from the land of Palestine. I saw an Instagram post where somebody was saying that the thing that Israel failed to consider when they expelled 750,000 people 76 years ago was that the grandchildren will be determined to come back. They thought the old will die and the new will forget, but here we are. And I will tell you one thing, if this doesn't happen in my lifetime, I will make sure that my children keep the cause alive. I will make sure that the love for Palestine and the right of return runs through their veins. I will make sure that they know we have no home outside of Palestine. Never. Israel thinks that by attempting to ethnically cleanse Gaza and the occupied territories that they will succeed in eliminating the Palestinian people, but I'm glad to inform them that we are 7.5 million Palestinians in the diaspora standing strong. And we are building an army of Palestine supporters. Malcolm X said he has a dream, and I also have a dream. And I know without a shadow of a doubt that my dream will absolutely come true sooner or later. Free Palestine until Palestine is free.
Our final speaker of the day. We've been talking so much about the amazing students and their encampments. Our final speaker is Jenny Maguire. Jenny is the president-elect of the Trinity College Dublin Students' Union.
Free, free! Free, free! Just over 2 weeks ago, a group of 60 students marched through Trinity and threw tents down and demanded that their college end its complicity in the genocide of the Palestinian people. The BDS campaign within Trinity didn't just last for those 5 days. It's lasted for over a decade, with staff and students begging its institution to recognise the part that it plays in that genocide, in the occupation. Trinity had ties to 13 Israeli institutions, invested thousands of euro into Israeli companies, and when our staff and students saw that their so-called neutrality was worthless and that it was cowardice. We stayed day and night demanding our college that it end its complicity. We vowed that we would not leave until our demands were met. And in those 5 days, Trinity College went from saying nothing, from being neutral, to completely divesting from Israel. Trinity College went from the absolutely disgusting line that, oh, academics should have the choice to work with Israeli institutions, as if those Israeli institutions are not directly complicit in the murder of Palestinians. They went from that to completely reviewing their ties with Israel. Since the encampments have set up all across this country. We've had universities and colleges across this country and across the world reaching out to us, asking us for advice of how we set up. When we left after those 5 days, we knew that it only just begun, because this win that we achieved is, yes, a win for the students, but it's also a win for every single person that demands a free Palestine. In the past few days, we've had the Israeli embassy shun us, calling us violent and obstructive, as if they have any ground to stand on for calling a protest demanding for humanity violent and obstructive. We have had politicians in the EPP describing us also as violent, urging Ireland to not continue Trinity's to stop Trinity from going down its dark path, as if the EPP has any ground to stand on when they let refugees drown in the Mediterranean. We are on the right side of history because we are on the side of humanity.